Hello, this is Scott Barger. Um, I wanted to point out two books that I found on Amazon that are Kindle books. They're very good in describing autism in adults. Um, First one, of course, that I read, and I'm kind of rereading parts of it, is Understanding Autism in Adults and Aging Adults by Teresa Regan. This is a more clinical approach to autism. It's very well done. Um, I don't. It does definitely show the full spectrum of how people can be on autism, and it made me feel pretty good about myself because I realize there's people in a lot worse shape than me for it. I mean, they can't control it. I mean, there are people who cannot control their habits and are not interested in trying to. Um, Very good book. It deals with autism in general, mostly Asperger's, I think, from what I remember when I read all of it first time. And it, I think it's a good book. I like it because it's down to earth and it deals with cases. I mean, it doesn't. I don't remember her giving names, but it does deal with certain scenarios. As a lot of it with older folks, people who have to deal with aging parents that are 60s, 70s, 80s, grandparents or whatever, and they really slip into a state where they just can't adapt well, and it shows the different symptoms and things in people, and I really was amazed at how I could um, see some of the traits in myself, but I've seen them in others as a result. The second book I just got is also on Kindle. It's called I Have Asperger's by Erin Clemens. She's a young gal. She was 24 when the book came out. And her father tried to edit it, but he wanted to keep it as basic to how she writes as possible. So he stuck mostly to spelling errors. And it is a collection of journals. Well, it's a collection of entries from a journaling that she did, diary kind of thing, describing her struggle mostly as a youth, and then like over a 10-year period, I think it is. Um, the book is that book in particular you can get for free. That's a free book off of Kindle. The other book, if I remember correctly, was $9.99 on Kindle. Um, but anyway, getting back to that's what I wanted to go in and find another book on Asperger's or whatever. But I look into free stuff now first, and I was amazed at how this gal is very. I mean, she's very articulate and everything. Um, the thing that got me is she has certain. She's more patterned. I used to be more patterned when I was younger too. I mean, you don't know what's wrong with you, and you become militant and organized, and you want all your ducks in a row. And people that don't have Asperger's don't understand what to do with that. They just sort of, they either make fun of you or they take advantage. Like my wife, and when I was first married to her, and we were living in Kentucky, and I had a bad habit. Of course, now I pretty much care less. But back then, I had a coffee maker with a clock on it, and I still like to make sure all the clocks are relatively the same. I'll walk around with a cell phone, on the internet, giving me the atomic time, so I got precise time. And she used to she used to deliberately unplug the thing and leave it flashing, and just to get a laugh out of it. I mean, just to get me going. But and she admitted sometime later she was doing this. But I would recommend these two books though, because and especially the second one's nice too because it's personal. And sometimes she seems normal, and then other times you could see the Asperger's popping up to the surface, kind of like a submarine coming up for air. It's just like there it is, and suddenly, oops, sorry for that jar. Suddenly she'll show some, like her reactions to things that irritate her and whatnot. And I thought, yeah, that's me too. And I've had to learn how to stop being so irritated with people and their habits, um, because when I get that way, it becomes a strong controlling pattern over me, and it's almost addictive the way it is. Um, well, I didn't want to go on too much about this because this is going up the same night as video 2. Um, so this is going to be a 2 for going up. Um, I do thank you folks for taking time out to listen to me go on about myself. I hope people can, I mean, even if, I hope you can understand what's going on with people like me. And I would suggest any of these 2 books. I mean, if you read on Kindle, if you want to spend the $10, get the Understanding Autism one. Wrong way. There we go, right there. And I have Asperger's as more personal, quick read, and I just love these books to death. I think they're fantastic. They really do hit the nail on the head. And if I find any other good books like that, I'll let you all know, especially if they're free. Because most of the literature out there on this subject is about raising kids, and there's a lot of websites and a lot of books about raising kids that have autism. And if you have an autistic kid, or you suspect you do, or you have one that was diagnosed, I would definitely suggest having a look at any one of these 2 books, because you will see, especially in the first book, Understanding Autism, you will see the patterns. They start early in life, and that'll give you a head up. And of course, if the child has severe autism to where they can't speak, and they never are potty trained, or it takes them like 10 years to get potty trained or whatever, there are books out there for that, and I would recommend folks to look those up. I personally don't look into them because I had enough of a struggle finding anything on adults with Asperger's, and it's slim pickings. So I thank you for your time, and have a good evening.